Fricrema reinvents itself with the new Blue series, and now with the new PM25 model opens new possibilities. The new 6-inch screen makes work easier and improves vision, all details, graphics, programming, technical capacity and precision. In the control panel, you can find access to the graphic of the recipe ongoing, direct access to all programmed recipes with 100 customizable recipes, access to menu Start, and also the operating mode with manual recipe, allowing to modify at any time different parameters of the recipe, being able to choose between on and off with way of operate at any time from the screen itself. We also have the stop and start buttons recipe, the buttons to activate the waterhouse cleaning and the emptying button that will help us take the product out of the bucket. Programming a PM25 Fricrema recipe is very simple, we just need to select the recipe we want to program. Entering, we can change the name. For example, to this recipe, we will rename this recipe Cream 2. We can program up to 5 stages. As we see the first stage, the second, third, fourth and fifth. We must emphasize the stage 0, A0, in the discontinuous agitation, which will programming the time in seconds with rotation on and stop it off, below in the reverse agitation program, the time to the left and to the right. We must emphasize the programming of the cooling power, where we can select from 0 to 9. In this case, 7 is the cooling power. The heating power works by adjusting the temperature in degrees centigrades of the resistance settings, 110 degrees, and this will be the maximum temperature that the resistance will reach in the recipe. We will remark that there are 5 stages available in each recipe, starting with the first step. This way we choose between the mode mixture, hot, cold. The temperature can be selected from negative 20 degrees up to 100 degrees. In this case, we are heating up to 65 degrees. We also can set how long time we keep the temperature before jump to the next stage, selecting 0 hours and 30 minutes. With this configuration, we will have programmed a low pasteurization. The rotation mode can be selected in continuous way. Reverse rotation. Right-left with the time set in stage S0. We can also stop the speed of rotation, so we can choose 23% in this case, but we can select from 0% up to 100%. Furthermore, we can choose an intermittent rotation, setting movements and stop the agitator with the time selected at the stage 0 as 0. It's possible also select a movement mode without any rotation if we want during a particular stage of the recipe don't move the product until we reach the temperature and out the time at the programmed stage. We must explain that in the recipe we can use their single stage, or 2, or 3, or even 5 stage. In every stage can be selected like the last stage, or continue to the next. That is, if we are now in the first stage, this arrow will show us that continue to the second stage. This arrow will show us that continue to the second stage. At the second stage, if we select the pause button, we just would use in this recipe 2 stages of the recipe, but we can select the steps that we are thinking like necessary, up to 5 depending on the product you want to produce. For example, if we want watching the programmed on the stage of a ready recipe, in the pastry cream recipe, for example, we enter in programming and check one we have at the first step. Mixture mode so doesn't indicate any temperature. Rotation speed to 70% and reverse rotation so it turns to the right and left in order to mix and homogenize the product for 3 minutes. After these 3 minutes, it will jump to step 2, where we heat to 90 degrees temperature with continuous rotation to 20% speed. This is quite smooth. If we look, we can see that the buzzer at the end stage is activated, so notify us when make the change of phase. How long will keep this temperature 90 degrees? For 2 minutes, because this is what we set. In the next stage, we have cold function at 5 degrees, with a speed of 10% in continuous rotation. We watch that the arrow indicates that we used the 4th stage. We will see the programming. We have cold mode to 5 degrees temperature with continuous rotation, but with a slow speed to 0%. Therefore, we should focus on this stage. Has the pause, so it's the last stage of the recipe used. We can understand that programming is very simple and is recorded just first time. The next times, when we select any recipe programmed, we don't need to change anything in the programming. We just proceed to execution of the recipe. For example, we have selected dulce de leche, so if we already have 2 ingredients introduced in bucket, we will press start again, and the programmed recipe starts to work. This time, we have nothing in bucket, so we must press stop twice. The operation is very easy with a single programming. Any operator will be able to run any programmed recipe. If while making up a recipe, we want to end a process, mixture, heat or cold, we can jump to the next step manually. We can press on skip one step for 3 seconds and we'll change to the stage without harm the product. To start any recipe, we just have to press on the start button. Select on the screen the desired recipe. We can use the +10, -10 buttons to reach the recipe. In some programming models, you can choose the recipe by clicking on the numerically digit and selecting the recipe you want.